what about the future of the hospital in terms of things like expansion that they're talking about now? Shouldn't they be set aside some of the money that you're talking about potentially using for access issues for future rainy days or adding services or construction, that kind of thing?
The ideas for expansion and new construction, they're great ideas, and they probably are needed. But what is the point in having the best, most beautiful hospital in the country if 15% of our county in the last 12 months didn't seek necessary medical treatment because of cost? I mean, we have this beautiful palace of a hospital, and 15% of the people in the county don't go in to use it. The hospital district is there for everyone in the county. It's a subtle shift that we've sort of fallen into there, that we write our mission statement and everything about the people that walk in the door. We're going to give the top quality care to everyone that walks in the door. But it's sort of subtly saying people that don't walk in our door, we're not really that concerned about. But instead, what if we said, we care about the health of everyone in Jefferson County, and our priority is population health, and we're going to spend as much effort studying how healthy the population is and making sure everyone can get every type of healthcare service they need, as well as make sure when they walk in the door that we do top quality care.
Use the word study. Some people, that's going to be a flag. Study for how long, how much.
Well, the way
lots of studies going on, and then nothing ever happens to them.
No, I would want something to happen. The way it happened in San Francisco, I think it was Gavin Newsom was elected mayor, saying he was going to make sure everyone had health care access, and he was focused on the uninsured. And he said the day he got into office, he assembled a coalition of healthcare agencies and citizen agencies, and he said, you have 90 days to study this and come up with a plan. And that's the type of,
So it's sort of finite and, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Any other issues that are on top, or is that your sole focus, or how do you see that? How do you see this kind of playing out? And
that's my number one issue. I mean, there's lots of interesting things to talk about with healthcare, and I've had lots of healthy dialogue over the last year with everyone on strategic leadership about how to manage the facility, how to do performance improvement, but that type of dialogue will continue if I'm commissioner. I do that as my expertise. It'll be a slightly different dynamic if I'm a commissioner rather than an employee suggesting that things might work better a certain way, but it'll still be a dialogue and a collaboration.
I'm sure some people are going to wonder about you potentially needing to give up your job. The position of commissioner doesn't pay much more than I think. I know you still get health care, I believe, but
Yep.
Per diem it's not that much.
Right.
Certainly, probably not as much as your salary. I would
No.
think. So, how's that going to work for you? Are you willing to give up your salary, or would you have you move into doing what?
I don't actually know what I will do, and that was the scariest thing when I first realized the absolute best step I could take would be to run for commissioner and try to win. I realized that, and then of course the huge that would cost me my job, that would cost me tons of security, my retirement path. So that was very scary. So I really had to sort of think about that for months. But it's sort of, there's rare moments in life when you get to actually see there is a big thing I could do that potentially could really make a difference. And then if I think of it that way, and I imagine just, okay, I have to give up my job, I have to trade this whole career to do that. I was involved with the Occupy movement. I met a lot of activists, and I saw a lot of activist protests, and after meeting people that were willing to basically sacrifice everything they had to try to make the type of political change they want in the world, I realized it was kind of just silly for me to say I'm not willing to trade my job to go for the biggest positive change I could imagine. So
So you're gonna do it, and you're not
so
sure what would happen if what would happen if you win?
If I win, I resign my job. And then I am thinking about it's
Mm-hmm.
made me think about other things I would do, and
Mm-hmm.
I have lots of other interests, and actually eventually I started to get really excited about the other things I could pursue and the other interests, and so I'm actually
Can you
really
share some of those other interests.
well. I do a lot of writing. I'm a philosophy major, so I sort of do. I like to write. I do a lot of art, and so I do a lot of painting, and then there's and I sort of mix art and writing and philosophical thinking. I also am very interested in mindfulness teaching, mindfulness-based stress reduction. It's a type of meditation or very healthy practice they actually teach in hospitals around the country, and actually Jefferson Healthcare has a program that teaches MBSR, and so I might get certified in that. I couldn't teach it through the hospital because then I'd be an employee, so I'd have to compete with the hospital. But so, and there may be other things.
There's other options for you.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you haven't decided who, or you have decided who, according to the meeting yesterday, I guess it was.
Yep.
No, I guess it was Wednesday. You have decided who you'll run against, but you're not saying who until you actually file. Do you plan to file the first day or the second day?
Yeah, no, I'll be filing at 8:30 when they open.
Okay.
First day. You're welcome to be there. You'll be the first to know.
Very good. But otherwise, you're not going to say.
No, it's just sort of
What the process was. I mean, you'll have to share that eventually.
the process of how I decided.
Right. Because it is both positions are at large. They're not. They don't represent a specific district.
Yeah, that's right. So I basically just decided based on who I thought was the person to replace on the commission to do the most to shift it philosophically the direction that I think it needs to shift. And so I think it's, if you know the commission, that you might be able to guess who I would go against. But
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But both commissioners they're wonderful, people. They're really good people. I just I want to change the philosophy and priorities of the commission.
Okay.
And
okay. I don't think I have any other questions right now. Do you have anything else that you want to share? I mean, it's really. How old are you? Now I'm going to ask some basics.
Sure.
Of it.
39.
Okay. And you've lived in Echo Village for how long?
Only about a year.
Okay.
Since August last year.
But you've been in Port Townsend for.
I've been in Port Townsend basically since like '95.
Oh.
I spent 6 years in Squim. I was married for 6 years.
Where'd you attend school?
University of Maryland
Oh.
and the University of Bristol a year.
And you have a degree in philosophy?
Philosophy.
Very cool. Okay. Let's see. I think for now, the first stories that we write are very short.
Sure.
So they're not very comprehensive about all the issues that are facing the hospital district. So, but this is a huge thing. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I appreciate all your comments.
Great.
I don't have anything else to ask right
Great.
now.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you so much.